What should one know about planning and conducting animal experiments?
The decision to use an animal model for evaluation or medical training always begins with an active, carefully considered decision by all persons involved, which must be justified in detail and formulated in writing. This plan also results in a so-called application for approval or notification of an animal experimental project. Both are procedures that have to be checked by the local animal welfare authority before any implementation. In addition, further experts are involved in the framework of the animal welfare commissions. In Germany and in Europe, all parties involved have to consider a quite comprehensive framework of laws, rules, and recommendations. As a society, we don't make it easy for us to obtain an approval and to carry out the necessary animal experiments. The well-founded desire to experiment on animals has been present in medicine for centuries, similar as the never-ending need to use such experimental possibilities for further progress in medicine. Progress means allowing physicians to gain practical experience with such and other models and to share it. Progress also means to use them for research or to support development of novel medical technology.
What are the advantages of using animal models in the evaluation of novel medical devices?
The evaluating company always has one overriding interest: to simulate the application of its novel medical device with reasonable efforts and at proven standards. The operator, the workplace, the instrument, and even the suppliers, and of course the animal model being used instead of a patient, everything must simulate the future application of the medical device as realistically as possible. If we succeed in creating a brain tumor in the head of an animal model, similar to a human brain tumor, then this naturally offers best conditions for the evaluation of all such medical devices that are ever used in the diagnosis or the therapy of brain tumors. If the animal is even observed further after the neurosurgical intervention, we also obtain information on the healing process and thus on the effectiveness of the neurosurgical procedure.
What are the benefits of using animal models in the training of medical professionals?
If the carefully selected animal model is treated or even operated in the professionally equipped training laboratory, the participating doctors always feel as if they were present in their own hospital when treating a real patient. In addition, the training offers even more possibilities to repeat things, to vary them, or even to do them in a borderline way in order to learn from them in the best possible way. This only belongs in the training laboratory, but not in the treatment of a seriously ill patient. When learning, every mistake is welcome, so that we can pause, understand it, and correct it immediately when we repeat the whole procedure again. No animal model looks like another on closer inspection. Each of them carries with itself the traces of growth and past diseases. This diversity and the individuality makes animal models always unique. If you then react to the actual treatment in a similar way to a real patient, this underlines the unique university. Whenever the function of cells, organs, or the entire organism is at stake, whenever the transition from healthy to sick and the subsequent healing are the basis of an evaluation or training plan, we often lack equivalent alternatives to the animal model.
Are there any disadvantages with these models?
Yes, there are two things to mention. Some diseases are exclusively reserved for humans, and others are found very rarely or with completely different characteristics in animal models. This also has to do with the higher age that we humans reach and some environmental conditions to which only we are exposed. The second major disadvantage is related to anatomical conditions of those common animal models typically in use. For instance, any testing of implants in animal models is limited if the anatomy differs significantly from that of humans, or if it does not make sense to adapt the medical device to the anatomy of the animal just for the purpose of testing.
Besides the rational side, one can imagine that the use of bodies of animal models is certainly not free of emotions. What can you tell us about this?
The handling of a farm animal or specially bred laboratory animal is not part of everyday life for many of us. So yes, we have many questions and are confronted with perceptions and feelings that we take time to deal with. Because we know this and have experienced it by ourselves, we give all people involved the necessary personal support. In advance, we provide detailed information. Furthermore, we consciously limit the perception of and the physical contact with the animal model in order to reduce the emotional attachment. At the end of each experiment, it's necessary to say goodbye when the animal has fulfilled its purpose in the training or evaluation and is then put to sleep under deep anesthesia as required by law. By the way, surgeons act in the simulation lab in the same way as in the operating room of their hospital, as they concentrate preferably on the operating field in which they are working. And most importantly, we take all the time it takes to act professionally, responsibly, and with dignity in all phases of the animal experimentation. This also means to pause for a moment to thank the animal and all parties involved.
What trends do you see in the use of animal models today and tomorrow?
Yes, we have observed that the need for the use of animal models is not increasing further, especially as they are increasingly replaced by other high-quality models, such as human specimen. Modern techniques in diagnostics that are still used once the human donor passes away, gentle storage of the specimen that avoids any changes as far as possible, and special techniques for subsequent treatment of those cadavers, all that brings specimen from human body donations in a position that they are actually considered the best replacement model for a large number of diseases and treatment situations today. Yes, there is a growing desire in our society to avoid animal experiments and to obtain the knowledge gained from them by other means.
What is your personal opinion on animal testing?
Personally, I'm infinitely grateful that our modern society has given itself clear rules in modern animal welfare, because that set of rules protects animals from unnecessary experiments and gives us clear guidelines and responsibilities for planning, implementation, and documentation of animal experiments. These physicians and their industry partners who participate in an animal experiment and derive immediate benefit from it are also filled with gratitude and awe for this unique opportunity. At the same time, they are glad that they can continue in a long-lasting tradition. There is much evidence that animal experiments have been used for over 2,000 years to systematically obtain new knowledge. With almost all farm animals, death is an inevitable evil, since it's before processing into food, before consumption by us as humans. Animal experimentation is indeed an alternative way to provide an additional service to our society. The carefully planned and in advance approved animal experiment is a service that is highly valued by all of us, especially when it helps to better understand diseases and to improve their treatment. The professionally trained physician, the safely tested medical device, all that are tangible contributions to the well-being of future patients.